Well, I was still in the Nigerian capital market where the Pearl Awards Nigeria is set to mark 3 decades of rewarding excellence to listed companies on the Nigerian exchange. The corporate summit and a book launch due next week was designed to discuss winning strategies for corporate organizations in Nigeria looking to build to last. Joining me for a discussion around this is Orekoya, the founder, president and the CEO of Pearl Awards Nigeria. It's great having you tonight on the RS Exchange, and congratulations for the upcoming conference and the awards later in the year.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you. Walk me through the past 30 years of the Pearl Awards in 1 minute.
Okay, in 1 minute. That's interesting. Okay, so the Pearl Awards story is what I would call the audacity of vision, tenacity, and resilience. When the vision came, that was late 1994, precisely 26 December, I remember. I was actually in a barber's shop when I got that vision. You know, prior to that, we had a program on television, then NTA Channel 10, called Stock Market This Week. So daily, you know, we covered the stock market, the stock exchange, and we were reporting on activities of companies listed on the exchange, you know, with facts behind the figures, industrial visits, and much more. However, we discovered that there was a gap, that companies were not being recognized or rewarded based on actual performance. That is based on verifiable indices, empirical data. And so, as such, the Pearl Awards was born. The maiden edition held precisely May 27, 1995. And I recall that the overall highest award then was won by Nigerian Breweries PLC, an award which was received personally by the revered Sir Felix Ohiwere, then chairman Nigerian Breweries. You know, the event had the then vice president, chief of staff, you know,
of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Federal Republic, then the late Lieutenant General Ladipo Dia, you know, present as the special guest of honor. Captains of commerce and industry were all there. But one thing that is sure is the fact that right from the outset, Pearl Awards was meant to be different. The issue of integrity, credibility, and objectivity for us was paramount. And so, what did we do? In constituting the board of governors, we had first-class professionals, men and women of integrity. I recall that over the years, the board of governors have been peopled by men of integrity and women of integrity. Today, the awards board of governors has Dr. Umar Farouk, who is the president of Association of for Advancement of Nigerian Shareholders, as the chairman. We have on the board a past Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Mr. Wale Adetunji. We have the current Presidential Institute of Directors, Alhaji Tijani Borodo, past presidents of directors. They cut across, you know, Chief Mrs. Nika Akode, and a host of others. So the issue of credibility has been critical for us. Not only that, over the years, you know, I will say for over 20 years now, in 2003, the Securities and Exchange Commission formally endorsed the Pearl Awards, you know, based on our shared values of promoting capital market excellence with fairness and objectivity. And over the years, at every milestone, we have introduced initiatives towards promoting vibrancy growth of the capital market.
Interesting that you spent the last 30 years with your background in accounting, in banking as well. You spent 30 years with some of the biggest, the CEOs, some of the biggest Nigerians. So you've been there talking with likes of Ohiwere and across different sectors. At least every award has more than at least a dozen or two winners. So you've virtually seen virtually every companies that matter on the Nigerian exchange for 30 years. And that's quite a whole lot. So when we talk about the learning curve, using the capital market to build lasting corporate institutions within the Nigerian environment, well, what have you learned from these interactions with the CEOs?
Oh, well, I would say quite a lot. I mean, quite a lot. Well, I think the first thing I'll probably like to talk about is the fact that understanding that the capital market is a strategic tool rather than a funding channel. Right. So a lot of companies have earlier thought that, oh, we'll go to the capital market, we'll raise funds and all that, and that is all that there is to it. But you find out that it's a strategic tool in the sense that you must actually, I mean, some companies have raised equity, to promote their brand visibility and also investor confidence, trust in the brand, right? So that is key. So you have to be strategic, right, in actually approaching the market and see the market as such. Secondly, is the issue of corporate governance. It's imperative, right? So companies that have actually, kept to good corporate governance have been rewarded because the market rewards transparency and accountability, right? So you find out that, companies that have good structures, good systems, they are the companies that are on the winning edge.
And the ones built to last.
Exactly. So the issue also of market timing and investor confidence is key, right? You see, some companies have found out that they approach the markets, at bearish situations, and they have the values of the company have been totally eroded. Yes. But again, the issue of investor confidence is key. So regulatory engagement, right? You must, ensure that you comply with regulatory, guidelines and all that, and also engage proactively.
When you talk about 30 years of the Pearl Awards and you're talking about resilience, corporate resilience in Nigeria, and I think that's what next week's summit is all about, built to last. In an environment where you have policy changes such as Nigeria, look at the political landscape, you look at everything, you look at sometimes policy reversals, and sometimes very tough policy reform decisions are taken. So you talk about corporate resilience. Why is that important to have a summit on?
Yes, it is important because just like the last question, the issue of policy somersault, political instability, forex, instability, and all that, inflation, all affect the market. But beyond that, there are other challenges, and there is the need to come together. For example, in other climes, advanced economies, you see companies that have been there 100 years, 200 years, transgenerational. And why not Nigeria? So that's the question that this summit seeks to answer, to address medium, long-term, and also transgenerational, sustainability. Right, so we're bringing together, a premier gathering of top CEOs, founders, policymakers to brainstorm and also share ideas as to achieving corporate success sustainably, right? Looking at the theme built to last, a roadmap for corporate Nigeria. So we're building the theme around resilience, innovation, and also long-term value creation.
I think that is timely at this point for Nigerian corporates.
It is. When you actually look at the environment, there are various challenges, right? And we want, for example, the young entrepreneurs, the young businesses, Nigerian businesses, to be able to learn from these corporate giants, the influential leaders. And so we are bringing together the likes of the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission. He's going to be there. We're going to have the Chairman, Nigerian Exchange, Dr. Umaru Karanga. We're going to have, Dr. Biodun Adedipe, revered economist and one-time chief economic advisor to the President of Nigeria, as the keynote speaker. we're having Dr. Mrs. Owen Omagiafo, the group CEO
of the FRS.
Yes, of
Transcorp.
Transcorp. Yes, she is on the panel. So, right, the MD of CSCS, you know, Haruna Jallo Waziri. So you have all these people coming together.
But I just want to talk about these winning strategies for corporate giants in Nigeria. What's in it?
Oh.
Give me 1 minute or less.
That's the publication to commemorate our 30th anniversary. When Pearl Awards was 15, we published the winning strategies of Nigeria's corporate giants, Volume 1. Right, and that featured the Pearl Awards winning chief executives. Now, this time, we are also having them, but going beyond that, to look at founders. Right. I mean, you know, founding titans of companies that have become corporate giants, as well as fintech magnates. So this publication has been put together to be a resource document where entrepreneurs, Nigerian businesses can make reference to catching into what are the strategies these companies have adopted. Not just survival, for them to remain on the winning edge and to become corporate giants.
I love that. Who's winning this year's Pearl Awards in November? Okay.
Well, that's an interesting question, and that's where the Pearl Awards is different. You know, the Pearl Awards is not subjective.
You don't have a list yet.
We don't have a list. It's based on processes and procedures. Okay. We have the Research and Collation Committee. We have the committee of the technical committee of the board that will review. So it's actually based on performance, actual performances of these companies. Well, as we go along, the research committee will be working, and I'm sure in a matter of months, we will have the nominees, and of course, that will be the grand finale of the awards
for the 30th anniversary.
In November for the 30th anniversary.
It's been quite a journey, 3 decades in this environment, quite a lot. Thank you so much, and congratulations for all that you have ahead. Thank you so much, Tayo Orekoya. 30 years on this year. Tayo Orekoya, founder, president, and CEO at Pearl Awards Nigeria.